look back at the highlights from French Guyana's 5-1 victory over Grenada in the first half. The star for French Guyana really proved to be Gizo Atuku, who would score 2 goals in that first half for French Guyana. Early on, remember, some of the chances belonged to Grenada, but this is where it flipped. You wonder if they just mindset shifted after this goal as well. A sense of invincibility for French Guyana after seeing Gizo Atuku make a play like that. Opening 10 minutes, giving them the 1-0 lead. And then it would be Juan Cleoville's turn to take center stage, put one off the post. He'd have another opportunity shortly thereafter that was saved by the goalkeeper after a good touch into space past the defender. But he would not be denied a third time. Played through by Atuku. Great touch to the legs right there for the nutmeg by Cleoville. Comes out the other side and scores. So opening 2 goals, a goal for Atuku, and then an assist as he fed Cleoville. And then when they made it 3-0, it would be Atuku at the center of the attention once again. He was played in behind by Benjamin Susu, and then Atuku did the rest, powering it past the keeper, making it 3-0. Grenada would respond, though, in the first half. From 3-0 to 3-1, Jaleel Ford would find the moment. Some physical play between these teams as well in the opening fixture for the first 35 minutes. Here's that goal for Ford. Pops it up on the volley, swings through it, and gets it past Thais Panel. 3-1 it went into the break after that moment. And you were wondering at that point if Grenada would be able to sustain it and turn it into a legitimate comeback against French Guyana. The answer would prove to be no, as we go to halftime with a 3-1 lead for French Guyana that they would build on in the second half. They took it right to Grenada out of the gates in that second half. They'd get the goal from the corner. It was the substitute coming on for Atuku, who terrorized Grenada in the first half. Mateo Francois replaced him and picked up right where Atuku left off. And Cleoville scored in that first half. Dynamic once again, drew the penalty. And Benjamin Susu would step up and convert, making it 5-1. And that would be it as far as the scoring today. About 20 minutes left in the match. Susu made it 5-1. They never looked back. In fact, they only looked to add to it. French Guyana already up 5-1, trying to boost their goal differential, find their way perhaps into the top 2 in League C Group G. They'll have to settle for a 5-1 win, but that is not a bad thing to settle for. Terrific showing today for French Guyana. A look back at the highlights from what started as an incredibly quiet fixture between Martinique and St. Lucia. 2 teams coming into the day off of clean sheet victories yesterday. St. Lucia 1-0 over Grenada, Martinique 3-0 over French Guyana here in League C Group G. The first half, quite frankly, not much happened. There were not really any clear-cut opportunities, but for this one that we saw from Monroe on the St. Lucian side of things. Free kick, yellow card. Free kick, though, goes into the wall. The only clear opportunity in that first half belonged to Randall Monroe in the open run of play for St. Lucia. Down the other side, not much going on for Martinique. It wasn't really until the second half that things picked up to a different level. Here is that one moment I'm mentioning in that first half. Monroe right there could have tapped it home after the initial save. Just beaten to the punch barely by Loic Ludap. There just continued to be such a tight meeting between these 2 sides, neither giving an inch, keepers making the simple saves when called upon. Some more difficult than others. The wind played a big factor. Keepers having to spring to services on corners and free kicks they may otherwise not have had to if not for these conditions. But we went to the half nonetheless at 0-0 in this very tight, tense affair. And then in the second half, that's where things would pick up and the moments would come for both these sides. First, it was St. Lucia. It came right out of the cooling break after they really found their footing again, picking up where they left off at times in that first half. It was out of the cooling break that they would have the moment. This free kick would not produce anything in the end. It was a precursor, though. The free kick would smack off the post. Diving effort from the keeper, Arcade, to stop it. He's helped by the post, keeping it out. Then the moment would come. Just after the hydration break, Kai Russell slipping it through. Randall Monroe composed. Good touch around the keeper. Well-timed run. Kept his balance and finished. Cards and the chippiness ensued from there. In the 69th minute, Martinique would have their moment. It was slipped through. The substitute Legrand, powerful strike off the bar, down and in. That made it 1-1 in the 69th minute. Just when you thought it might be and finish 1-1. A hard-earned 1 point each on 1 goal each. No. Brilliant from the corner toward the back post, almost went in as an Olympico. The goalkeeper, Toussaint, all he could do is fire it away. There's no offside on a corner. He was claiming the flag should come up. No offside on a corner as he slaps it away, and it's knocked home in the end.